Once again, good morning, church. Pastor Sean here. We have a very special announcement, important announcement that we need to make this morning. It is my responsibility to do so today. Just want to let you know, as many of you know, or you may not even realize, Gainesville Church is in fact a United Methodist Church, part of the United Methodist Church denomination, part of the Virginia Annual Conference. Methodism is in its very nature an Episcopal system, which means we have bishops that oversee our annual conferences. Pastor John, Pastor Benson, myself, in fact, all the pastors of the annual conference report directly to Bishop Sharma Lewis, who is our presiding bishop in Virginia. Methodism at its core since almost the very early days of the Methodist movement in the 18th century has been a system of itinerancy, a tradition that goes back to those early days of pastors going station to station, charge to charge, church to church, traveling a circuit, as it was called back in the day. At Gainesville, we're not very familiar with that. We have added to our staff. Pastor Benson came on board about 3 years ago. I came on about 6 years ago as your youth director and then one of your pastors. But we have not had a pastoral transition of any kind, really, since 1997 when John came on board here at Gainesville, way back in the day, back at the old church on Route 55. So you may not be familiar with this. Many of the folks who were here in 97 when John showed up, there aren't very many of those folks still around. And so this may be a new experience for many of us, but I need to let you know that Bishop Lewis has reappointed me. And as of July 1st, I will be serving as the pastor at Buckhall United Methodist Church, not too far down the road on the other side of Manassas. It is a bittersweet day for me and for Leighton and Jordan and Robin and our entire family. We have been made so at home here in the last 6 years. We have grown individually. We've grown as a family. Our kids were born and baptized in this church, and this church means the world to my wife and I, and we are so incredibly grateful for the outpouring of love that has come our way in our time here, and we love each and every one of you in return, and we will definitely miss everything about Gainesville in so many ways. But we're also, if we're being honest, I'm excited about the opportunity that lays in front of me, the challenge that lies in front of me as I take on a church of my own as a solo pastor and all that lies ahead in helping Buckhall navigate these times that we're in and helping Buckhall to realize what it means and to grow in what it means to be disciples and to help bring the gospel to a new community, to folks that had not heard the gospel before. I'm excited about that, and while we will miss you all, we're not going to be too far away. So we'll still keep in contact as we can, although we are encouraged as pastors and as congregations to make a clean break when it happens so that you can continue to worship, continue to look at Pastor Benson and Pastor John as your pastor, and that I can fully commit myself to the people of the Buckhall area and the Buckhall Church as their pastor. But we will miss you. We love you. And thank you for everything over the last 6 years. This isn't goodbye just yet. We've got a few more weeks to go, several more weeks to go. And we're looking forward to all that has in store for us. I'm going to turn it over now to Pastor John and George Landis, who is the chair of our PPR group on our leadership board, to tell you a little bit more about what the future holds for Gainesville Church after this news.
Well, George, that's an announcement to the church that you and I already knew about, and we were expecting this. I actually was expecting this because of how much Sean has grown and how good he is at being a pastor. What's that going to mean for Gainesville Church going forward?
Well, I think it's going to be a little bit of a shock. I think here in Gainesville, we've been very fortunate, very lucky. We have a great pastoral staff of unique capabilities that blend together nicely.
That's a kind way to say it, unique.
Unique. And we've been very fortunate. For many years, we haven't seen pastors move, but I want to reassure the congregation that this is a normal business operating environment within the Methodist Church. This happens quite frequently. So this is business as usual that the Methodist Church go through. And in a really milestone point in Sean's career as the leadership of the church have observed him and his growth and maturity and have selected him to take a leadership position elsewhere. So as he grows and matures in the bigger church and benefits them, we will have to lose him. And even though it's a sad time for us, I think we need to be behind Sean and recognize that this is a positive thing for the larger church, and we will get through this.
Well, I can echo that sentiment, George, because having been in a United Methodist pastor for 37 years and been around pastors, we discuss appointments, whether they're great opportunities or mediocre opportunities or poor opportunities when a pastor is moved. I can tell you assuredly that this is a great opportunity for Sean, and this church that he is going to be greatly blessed by what he does. And I do want to say also, and echoing what you were saying, we have a plan.
Yeah.
You know, you've been through this in the military.
Right, and I've gone through this all my entire career, where natural leaders will grow and mature and then be replaced by others. So we will get through this. I'm very confident in that, and we have a plan to address that.
We do have a plan, and temporarily, we will not be replacing Sean's position. We're going to be offloading a lot of the responsibility that Sean had at the church onto other staff members. We may end up hiring some other folks. We don't know at this point. We're going to see how this goes. We did get caught a little bit because of the COVID-19. We got caught a little bit behind the curve. We should have known about this a month to 2 months earlier and been able to prepare a little bit more, but these are the times we live in. So one of the things that I would like to say, it's been a pleasure to work with Sean. I mean, for 6+ years, first as youth director and then as an associate pastor, we've had a great time together. One good thing is, found out, George, we can still golf with him because of where he's going. He's not that far away.
That far.
And so I want to say thank you to Sean for all of the hard work, all of the grace which you've displayed in doing the work of being a pastor, the wonderful sermons that you've preached, and the friend that you've become. So Sean, Robin, Leighton, Jordan, we're going to miss you, but we're still going to see you occasionally. So thanks a lot.